contest is scheduled for one fall.
What a body on that.
Oh, yeah. Let me ask you something. Were there any weights on that bar, or was that just a bar?
Of course there was weights on the bar.
Couldn't tell.
And his opponent making his way toward the ring, weighing at 263 pounds.
What?
Perez.
He's got a suit on.
And a briefcase.
Hey, you two are sharp.
And a necktie.
You two know what a suit and briefcase is.
It's Irwin R.
Schyster. Like he just came out of the office.
For all you people that filed for a late extension on your taxes, don't think you're going to get away with cheating, because you're at the top of my list, and IRS is going to make you pay.
You resemble that remark, Brain?
I'm paid up.
You're paid up, huh?
Yep, I'm paying cash. Oh, thank you very much. I just got a message here. You know who my guests are going to be this Tuesday? That was my courier.
Oh.
This Tuesday night on primetime, you know who my guests are going to be?
No, but I'm sure you're going to tell us.
Listen to this. I'm going to have Coco Beware and that dirty disease pigeon on.
Frankie.
The Texas Tornado. And one of the participants from the WBF, the World Bodybuilding Federation Superstars. One of them will be on.
Who?
And the giant of all giants in my book, the Mighty Earthquake.
Please. There's only one giant here in the World Wrestling Federation, and his name is Andre.
Well, there's a giant snake now. Well, it's not really a giant snake. It's
you've seen Lucifer.
Kind of a wide snake.
Oh.
IRS wrestling with that tie on. Boy, you're observant. That's a tie, yeah. You know what a tie? Do you own a tie?
I like that outfit. Got to be a little uncomfortable with a tie, though.
Yeah, especially if someone grabs a hold of it and starts pulling on it.
This guy's really put together.
Well, he's come to work. You always wear a tie and a business suit when you conduct an audit.
Well, you know about those, don't you?
Why does he laugh at me like that, Montana?
Beautiful drop kick by the Schyster. Right in the kisser of the youngster.
No, not the Schyster. Irwin R. Schyster.
You call him what you want, I'll call him what I want.
Don't make an enemy of this guy, Monsoon.
Why, I'm retired. He can't do anything to me. Ooh, it's you guys who are up for grabs.
How about that 240,000 you took off last year for bananas?
240 what?
Pounds of bananas you wrote off.
Be serious. At least I didn't try to write off antlers.
Business. I heard you wrote off shock treatments, Anvil.
Irish what? Anvil, I think you need to sit closer.
Yeah.
Let me back up here a little bit.
Wait a minute. I'm just going to get a little closer here, just a few more inches. It's over. A beautiful move.
I suppose it has a name, Brain.
Certainly does.
IRS.
What is it?
It'll come to me in a minute. Ah, it's coming to me. Yes, it's the write-off.
You know a lot about write-offs. Let's go back and take a look at some of the action.
Look at how he picks this man up with ease. IRS is put together. Shoots the man. Look at his drop kick. Right on the mark. This man doesn't miss a beat. And there it is. The write-off.
It's hot right now. Hot ticket on pay-per-view. WrestleMania's history and the heroes. Here's more about it. Listen in.
How'd you like to see that sight coming up your lawn?
I don't think I'd like to see it because it means one thing. You're going to be audited.
D.C., weighing 248 pounds. Here is Irwin R. Schyster, otherwise known as IRS.
Hey, Irwin.
Well,
Nice to see you, Irwin.
wait a minute. What's wrong with Irwin?
Nothing. I didn't just... Irwin. Kind of...
I mean, does he look like an Irwin to you?
Oh, yes.
He does?
Yes.
That's what an Irwin looks like.
Irwin. You're not...
Saddest looking bunch of tax cheats I've ever seen in my life.
Ebenezer.
Go ahead, cheat on your taxes. Because when I find you, IRS, I'm coming to your house and visit, and you're gonna pay big time.
Well, I don't think he has ingratiated himself with his capacity crowd at all. Although I don't think
What's this?
What's in the attaché case? When the glasses go in.
It's a large glasses case there.
I wonder what what else he has in there. Irwin R. Schyster, IRS.
Don't you think you should have come with your trunks on there, son?
I think you did.
Oh, and cool. Irwin's got cool-looking trunks, doesn't he?
Yeah, but I don't know about that tie. Irwin riding Red Tyler down to the canvas.
Yeah, Macho Man, now, if you were wrestling Irwin, wouldn't you grab hold of that tie and take him for a hog ride?
I don't know. I'd straighten it for sure. It's just a little bit crooked. That's the only thing that's crooked on IRS, though, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I bet it's the only thing crooked.
Look at the legs on
Red
Irwin.
Tyler backing Irwin R. Schyster. Oh, my goodness. I'll tell you one thing. You can make fun of IRS all you want to, but you have to give him credit for his athletic prowess. This man knows exactly what he's doing in the ring at all times. He is a technician, not only outside of the ring, but a technician on the inside.
Well, Irwin's what you call a sleeper. He don't look like much, but he's deadly.
Doesn't look like much. 240 pounds. He's about 6'4".
Well, none of it's in his legs.
I heard that. Maybe I'll tell Irwin.
Me having a bad knee.
Yeah,
I was just
right.
Yeah, we saw how bad your knee was.
Yeah, just last week.
Yeah.
All right.
You're doing
jump on
fine.
that.
You're doing fine.
Matter of fact, there was some, I don't know, some question that a Macho Man asked after the match was over last week. He wondered whether or not you were really just fooling around. He wondered whether or not that you really did have a knee
Let's
injury.
call the action in the ring right now, Vince McMahon. Let's just forget about the past. Piper, no problem. Yeah, I'll get you coffee
All
later.
right, nonetheless, there you see a submission hold, or at least a painful one, and IRS was holding onto the ropes a little bit earlier on just for additional pressure.
Oh, yeah, additional pressure is what's needed here.
And Mr. Red Tyler having his problems with IRS as just anyone might.
Irwin's slick. You got to give him that, man. He knows exactly where he's at in the ring. He knows his timing, and he's not afraid to take control.
Did you see how that guy broke that hold right there? He pancaked right out.
What match are you watching? He's being pancaked, all right. Irwin R. Schyster in complete control of this matchup all the way. And Mr. Schyster is sending Red Tyler in the ropes for the ride. Uh-oh. Up across the back. And down. And that, I believe, is what Mr. Schyster calls the write-off.
You write that fellow off. I didn't hear what he said there.
The following contest is
And there he is, briefcase in hand. This man means business, whether or not it's behind the desk or whether or not it's in the squared circle. He is accomplished, to say the least, in both environments.
Irwin.
Yes, Irwin R. Schyster.
Hi, Irwin.
Irwin can't hear you, but I'm sure he'd tell you something, Piper, if he did. He'd give you a real short, quick answer.
Oh, yeah?
Sooner or later, all you tax cheats are going to get caught. And when you do, you're going to pay the IRS. And speaking of tax cheats, you better watch your step, Mr. Piper, because I've got my eye on you.
Oh,
That's
my.
right.
Hot Rod, now remember your contract. Just have a little seat here now.
Remember the fact that you could get beat up?
Yeah, have a little seat here. I'm not too sure what exactly Irwin R. Schyster was talking about, but I would suggest that he could very well be peeking into some personal matters.
Let me just tell you something right now. I don't get a commission out of anything that Piper gets caught on. You know what I mean? I didn't turn anybody in.
Yeah, well, first of all, I don't know. That comes out of left field. But you want to run down my taxes for the last 20 years? You knock yourself out. But we'll see what kind of accountant you are, Mr. IRS, if you want to fool with me. See if you can count how many times I can hit you in the face in 5 seconds, if you can count that high.
Sound guilty to me, Piper.
I'm guilty.
Well, one thing we know about IRS is we know this fella can really mix it up in the squared circle. A very, my,
And
very
the tie
accomplished
still
wrestler.
has a beautiful knot in it. A Winston knot. Or Windsor knot. What is it?
Yeah.
One of those.
Either one or both. Both at the same time.
And unfortunately, to the outside goes Jim Collier and IRS.
Is this guy, he mentions my name now. Macho, what's the first thing you'd do? Well, let me tell you what I'd do. I mean, let's face it, the guy's got a tie around his neck.
Yeah,
Doesn't that give you an idea?
Why don't
but
you
you know
just
what?
come clean?
I bet it's just one of those clip-on jobs. I bet if you yanked on it, it'd come right off. And there, Irwin R. Schyster, I believe, puts the finishing touch, yes, on Jim Collier. This guy means business in more ways than one.
Being called a tax evader is a horrible thing. But if the shoe fits, wear it.
Doesn't cut much slack.
There's a lady that can tell you about taxes. She's paid her fair share.
How would you know that?
Because she looked like a real honest lady.
She did, as a matter of fact. She's only robbed 3 banks last week. I mean, how do you know? You can't judge the book by the cover.
I take a person at face value, man. And Irwin there with Chi-Chi. There's going to be some match here. Irwin ain't going to give Chi-Chi much time. Cut some of that hair off. He couldn't get up to his elbows in it if you did.
Irwin is a consummate professional in this squared circle. You may not like him looking over your shoulder when you're filling out your tax form. But I'll tell you what, this guy is something else in the squared circle. And his opposition at SummerSlam, he is vicious, is Greg the Hammer Valentine.
I think it would be better to have Irwin audit you than wrestle you.
Yeah, no question.
Well, I'm looking forward to the IRS versus the Hammer at SummerSlam.
The Hammer has such a different style, so much more methodical, going after the legs of Irwin. It's going to be an interesting match.
A very interesting match. As a matter of fact, we had an occasion to speak with the Hammer a little bit earlier on. Here's what he had to say.
IRS man, I've got a deduction for you. You say you're good with figures? Well, when I slap that figure 4 leg lock on you in SummerSlam, let's see you try to balance that account.
All right, Gregory.
Talk is cheap.
Yeah, well, nonetheless, everyone looking forward to watching this on pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view,
All the tickets
SummerSlam.
in Madison Square Garden have been gone for a long time, but pay-per-view is an opportunity, and whoa, there you have it.
And Granny Anderson thanks you. She lives up in the Northwest Territories and a 3.
That is called the write-off.
Here is your winner, IRS.
With state and local governments in financial trouble, don't you think it's about time you people started paying your taxes?
My goodness. I mean, sure, it's kind of hard times for everybody, but, I mean, we're looking at a sea of honest tax-paying citizens here, and I would suspect that they take great exception to the remarks of Mr. Schyster. Or Irwin to you.
Irwin! I wonder if anybody's ever checked Irwin's taxes.
That's a good idea, Piper. Why don't you? Why don't you challenge him right now?
Okay, Irwin, come on and give it a go.
Well, Irwin's a
He
little
can't
busy.
hear you.
Yeah,
Very
Irwin,
convenient for you, Piper.
he's a little busy right now. Hard right hand. I can tell you this. He may get on your nerves as far as your taxes are concerned, but if you're in the ring wrestling with him, he's going to get on your nerves in a different way. This man, Irwin R. Schyster, is a complete wrestler. He really knows what he's doing. And Greg the Hammer Valentine is likely to find out what Irwin R. Schyster really knows, not only about taxes, but about wrestling at SummerSlam this Monday.
Well, Valentine knows figures, and he knows the number 4.
Indeed, good point.
Figure 4. Big deal, Roddy Piper. You got to be proud of that. Otherwise, you're not proud of anything.
Well, I don't know, but the Hammer is proud. We spoke to him a little bit earlier on. Here's what he had to say.
IRS man, I'm going to make life a whole lot simpler for you after this Monday night in SummerSlam in Madison Square Garden. Then you'll understand that there's no escape from my figure 4 leg lock.
You don't pay tax, huh? By the way you're talking, Macho, you think that I got something against Irwin. You'd have something against him, too, if he audited you.
You're right.
Thank you very much.
Well, we're all looking forward
Must be
to...
a bad day for you.
Oh, please. I think we're all looking forward to having our ringside seat in our own living room on a pay-per-view basis. Oh, uh-oh. And there, ladies and gentlemen, the write-off. And Irwin R. Schyster. Uh-oh. Hear these hands in unison like Irwin.
Here's your winner, IRS. I have just been informed that Shawn Michaels has left the building.
Oh, that's great. Well, I sure am happy I got that news.
Yeah, a lot of other people are too. They won't be waiting outside the back door.
Coming down the aisle with their manager, the Monk of the South, Jimmy Hart, at a total combined weight of 508 pounds. Here are the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions, Money Incorporated.
Ted DiBiase, along with IRS.
457 pounds, the team of Bobby Perez and Angel Vega.
These guys are a great combination.
Angel Vega and Bobby Perez.
You know who I'm talking about, Ted DiBiase and IRS.
I'm getting a little tired of hearing the same old story. The recession is killing me. Well, it's time to look in the mirror and say, I'm not gonna be a tax cheat.
He was looking at you when he said that.
He wasn't looking at me. IRS and Ted DiBiase, the reigning WWF Tag Team Champions for now. Perhaps not for long. Looming on the horizon as the tag team, perhaps to take the title away from Money Inc. would be the team of the Natural Disasters.
They're a perfect team of what champions are made of.
Oh, really? We had an occasion to speak with the current tag team champions, Money Inc., earlier on.
Money Inc. the Joust, baby!
Natural Disasters, your odds are better of winning the big payoff in Las Vegas than they are of beating us for the WWF Tag Team titles.
Just like the saying goes, Irwin, the buck stops here.
Champ forever!
Oh, you find some levity in that,
The
do
buck
you?
stops here. Yes, I do.
I see.
What a great wrestling team these two are.
I'll hand that to you, no doubt. Yeah. Fantastic wrestling team in terms of technicality, in terms of knowing how to bend the rules and knowing how to break the rules.
It's all part of
knowing
being
how
a
to
champion.
Cheat.
Something you would know about being a champion.
Nonetheless, the Natural Disasters, I think, are going to know all about it. Because I think they can put an end to Money Inc. I think Money Inc. could go bankrupt.
Are you forgetting about Jimmy Hart on the outside? He's already outsmarted those two big dummies already.
Time will tell, Mr. Perfect. Time will tell. I'm sure the Natural Disasters haven't forgotten about Jimmy Hart.
Money Incorporated.
Everybody's gonna pay.
Big smile on the face of Irwin R. Schyster. $100 bill stuffed in the mouth of the competition.
That's not dirty money, though.
There you go. Carvin Selfie's brother-in-law. As we take you now to Razor Ramon.
Well, while we were away, the referee inadvertently started this one, so let's get going. Let me tell you something about this match with Bret the Hitman Hart, the WWF champion, and Shawn Michaels. It's not going to be a WWF title match. You know that? Not. Because by the time Survivor Series comes around, Flair will have gotten his hands on the Hitman and get the title back where it belongs. Sorry, Shawn, just the way things happen. Money Inc., of course, joining forces at Survivor Series with the Beverleys. I don't know why, but they are. To face the Natural Disasters and the Bushwhackers. Why didn't Money Inc. join forces with the Nasty Boys? Ask Jimmy, don't ask me. I don't know. I can't get a straight answer out of that little runt. Well, that's why the way you talk to him, call him a little runt. Look at this team he's put together here. Irwin R. Schyster brings a lot of things to the table. This Brunzell, you know, he drinks milk with dinner. What's wrong with that? Drop kick and a beauty. A patented number. Brunzell almost pulled one off again. Oh, double reversal. Sleeper hold by Jumpin' Jim. Right in the center of the ring. Look out. DiBiase to the rescue. See? IRS turned him, and he knew DiBiase would be coming in. He put his back right to DiBiase. That is great technical tag team wrestling. Well, these guys are the former champions, right? Only a matter of time. They'll have it back. Let's not forget that next week right here on Wrestling Challenge, The Natural Disasters, reigning WWF champions, will face the #1 contenders, Money Incorporated. Well, Natural Disasters better go to the buffets all they can. They better spend all the money. They better have a heck of a good time. They only have 1 week left as WWF Tag Team Champions. Well, I find that very difficult to believe. Well, see, you have to understand something. DiBiase and IRS, all they ever think about is money. Money, money, money. And when you take that away from them, like the Natural Disasters did, they're not going to let you rest. They're going to get back their title. They want that money. Brain, how many Brinks trucks do you see following the hearse and the funeral procession? None. Oh, well, you can't take it with you, can you? But while you're here, you can have a ball. Let me ask you this. You're friends with Jimmy Hart. Why aren't the Nasty Boys the #1 contenders? Well, why aren't the Beverleys the #1 contenders? That's a genius, that. I would say why the Nasties aren't the #1 contenders is because DiBiase and IRS are the #1 contenders. See, when you got two #1 contenders like DiBiase and IRS, there and the Nasty Boys, two #1 contenders. Exactly. You see what I'm talking about? It's in Jimmy Hart's best interest for him to have Money Incorporated going for the title, and that's the only reason. Well, you have to look at it 2 ways. You see, when you have Nasty Boys as #1 contenders, and you have Money Incorporated as #1 contenders, you got two #1 contenders. And like you said, there can't be two #1 contenders. So that way, why don't you stop? Yell at me. Why are you trying to double talk everybody out? Double talking? I've never swerved a person in my life. Oh, no, huh? By the way, did you validate that parking ticket we got? What parking ticket? Never mind then. We'll stiff him. We don't know him that well. Oh, look at that. Elbow finds the mark by DiBiase. What a team. Class always shows. And they're in shape. You know, you can't tell with the shirt and tie and the slacks on the man, but he is in great shape. Why on earth would anyone want to wear a tie in the ring? Well, it's an intimidation factor. It is. It's kind of slapping you in the face. Say, hey, I've come to work. I've got my white shirt on. I've got my tie, my suspenders. Take it off me. He doesn't need trunks to beat you. He can beat you in his work. There it is. Slapped it on. $1 Million Dream. In his work clothes. This one's all over but the shouting. He's lost the grip on it, but he still has enough pressure on that one arm to put him away. He's got that. He's sticking that thumb right in that carotid artery. Referee finally sees fit to ring the bell. Jumpin' Jim, go get another glass of milk and try again.
Here are your winners. Money Incorporated.
Everybody. Money Incorporated looking good. Only hoping that next week here on Wrestling Challenge, they'll be able to get their hands raised once again in a token of victory and leave the squared circle with the gold. Event Center's headed our way in just a moment. Here we go.
I'm going to tell you why that 1, 2, 3 or that lucky kid is smart. And I'll also tell you why he's dumb.
Well, that's hedging your bets. As usual, you're sitting on the fence.
Here are
Money Incorporated making their way to the ring. They are the WWF Tag Team Champions.
Incorporated.
Look, 5 different fingernails on one hand.
$1 Million Man.
As we know, they will join forces with the Head Shrinkers in an 8-man tag team event against the Steiner Brothers and the Smoking Guns.
I've warned you tax cheats many, many times about cheating on your taxes. But the old saying is true. Some people never learn.
He's right. What an honest man.
Hit the deck!
Here comes one of the most exciting new tag team combinations in a long time here in the World Wrestling Federation. And they will compete on their first pay-per-view spectacular with the Steiner Brothers, as we mentioned, in that big 8-man tag team event. Bring up.
Get down, will you?
Get up. Those are not real bullets.
I've got real blood in my veins. I don't want to get shot. Hey, there's the mayor of Oklahoma.
Yeah, right, like there's one mayor for the whole state of Oklahoma. Wait, will you get back up? I have to wonder, how will the Head Shrinkers coexist with their partners at the King of the Ring, Money Incorporated? Let's hear these comments from the Head Shrinkers.
This Sunday night, at the King of the Ring,
The Money Incorporated is our tag team against the Steiners and the Cowboys. Look out, but you're not going to like what we're going to...
Well, I'll tell you something. That's going to be a rather bizarre eight-man tag team event. I think the Smoking Guns and the Steiner brothers are going to get along just fine. But quite frankly, Brain, I'm not so sure that anyone can coexist very positively with the Head Shrinkers.
Well, I'll get to that in a minute, too. I have my own opinion on that. But this 1, 2, 3 or Lucky Kid or whatever he wants to call himself, he's a very smart kid because he realizes for $7,500 he could be in permanent traction for the rest of his life. But where he's dumb is he says he could use the money to pay off bills to help his family. Kid, go kick your dad and your mom in the seat of their pants and have them go and get a job. They take care of you, dummy. You don't take care of them.
Well, everybody doesn't agree with that philosophy, Brain.
Whoa!
Oh, good back body drop and a clothesline and another clothesline. Money Incorporated in trouble here in this non-title event. The Smoking Guns really turning it on here.
You know, like I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted.
We've got to go to a break. Fans, we'll be right back. Don't go away.
What?
A step between the two men. Welcome back, everyone, for more WWF action. Jim Ross and Bobby the Brain Heenan with you in this special non-title event. What a tag team matchup as IRS now has received the tag from Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man.
They're making fun of his name, a nice name like Irwin. But no, Billy Barton, Buffalo Bob here, whoever he is, they don't seem to make fun of that name, do they?
Wrist lock applied by IRS, and Billy Gunn counters it with a wrist lock of his own, drops the leg right across the bicep.
You know why there's only one mayor in Oklahoma?
Well, that's not a true statement, Brain.
It's true. They only have one mule.
We have a... Knee to the midsection by IRS, taking Bart Gunn to the turnbuckle. I know the Smoking Guns are really pumped up about this eight-man tag team event. They're excited to join forces. What impact there. They're excited to join... Uh-oh.
Is that his tongue he's standing on?
That's his tie. They're excited to join forces with the Steiner brothers.
You know, the Steiner brothers and Buffalo Billy here and his brother...
Billy and Bart Gunn.
Whatever their names are.
Great drop kicks.
They'll probably work good as a team. But something about the Head Shrinkers and Money Inc. I don't know about.
Well, while Money Incorporated attempts to regroup, we'd like to take this opportunity to let you hear some comments that were made earlier today, Brain, from the Steiner brothers.
They can speak English?
Of course. They went to Michigan.
Who could graduate from there?
This Sunday night in the King of the Ring, my brother and I are teaming up with the Smoking Guns to take on you, Money Incorporated, and the Head Shrinkers.
Head Shrinkers, Smoking Guns are going to take care of business with you. Money Incorporated, we're coming after you. My brother's going to put the Frankenstein on you. Hoo, 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 hoo.
Would you let them do your taxes?
Probably not, but I wouldn't let IRS do them either. Side headlock by Bart Gunn. Not for long as IRS able to create some distance there. A veteran-like move by IRS, sidestepping his opponent and then taking him outside. And look at DiBiase now. Oh, he gains an unfair advantage here by smacking the kid's face right into the steel ring steps.
Kind of like being taken out back of the corral and hankering a bit, huh?
And horsewhipped. Hankering a bit.
Isn't that what they do? They go out back and hanker?
Man, you spent too much time in Beverly Hills.
2, 3, hold a rope. I read that in the WWE magazine about them hankering.
There wasn't no hankering in the article.
Well, I saw them riding the horse the other day. Can they ride? But they were out of quarters, so they had to quit.
Big time right hand by DiBiase. These guys are the authentic version. They are two men that are very comfortable horseback. And DiBiase very comfortable breaking the rules right in front of the referee.
And if you don't believe Mr. Ross, you can go smell their boots. They love horses.
DiBiase and IRS make the exchange. The WWF Tag Team Champions.
Happy trails to you.
Scoop slam by IRS.
You know, I asked Billy Bart the other day, how many matches you won?
Mr. Ed syndrome, huh?
That's right.
I don't think so. You know, you're having a hard time telling the truth this week.
I'm telling you
It's
tell
even
the
worse
truth.
than normal.
I'm not a liar.
Well, what are you then?
I'm the brain.
Well, that's one part of your anatomy that you could be described as, but be that as it may, both these men in the ring now certainly need to make a tag.
And they made the tag.
IRS tags in DiBiase, and Bart Gunn tags in Billy Gunn.
This team's got a lot of fire, the Gunn brothers. You know, they got a temper, you can tell that, but they just got, whoa, look at this. Whoa.
Makes a back body drop.
They've got to lose that hick barnyard image.
Clothesline, down goes DiBiase.
I mean, where's some decent
Lateral
clothes?
press, he may have him here, and IRS interrupted the count. Bart Gunn in. Laying the right hands to IRS.
Come on, referee.
He's got to restore a little bit of law and order here.
Get Roy and Dale out of there.
Well, he's putting Bart Gunn outside.
Put him out back.
Billy Gunn. Irish whippers reverse. DiBiase miss. What is it? Oh, IRS tripped him.
No, it's those boots.
Oh, and DiBiase the knee right in the lower back. He's got him cradled. Money Incorporated wins it.
Yes. Money.
The kid got tripped from the outside, and DiBiase took advantage.
So?
Everybody's got a price.
$1 Million Man and IRS. Oh, yeah. Get ready for this Sunday.
8-man tag team event. Now let's go face to face.
Happy trails to you.
You tax cheats ought to be ashamed of yourself. It's time for you to start paying your fair share.
Who does he think he is? How does he know who all's cheating on their taxes? Was he involved in that Leona Helmsley thing? You know, she's out now.
I know she's out. I've talked to her. A personal friend of mine.
You and Leona?
Yeah, she owns the Empire State Building. You know what she owns, and the way that poor woman was mistreated.
Broke my heart. Dennis Diamond challenging the tax man here this week. And IRS scoops up Diamond with a body slam. He is a phenomenal athlete. There's absolutely no doubt about it. Another elbow drive by IRS on Dennis Diamond here. Fans, let me remind you of the WWF Survivor Series hotline. It starts this weekend. Some big news on the hotline as IRS misses the clothesline. Crossbody by Diamond. He may have him. IRS almost napping there as he drives Diamond to the top turnbuckle. The WWF Survivor Series hotline opens this weekend in the USA only. You can hear from the top superstars in the WWF. Also, ladies and gentlemen, yours truly will have a daily commentary on the hotline through the Survivor Series. And more importantly, you can vote for the WWF Superstar of the Year. There will be 8 possible selections for the award as handed down by President Jack Tunney. You can vote for the WWF Superstar of the Year on the WWF Survivor Series hotline right here in the USA only. It opens this weekend. Abdominal stretch by IRS. Look at him cheat.
It's not cheating. He's just holding on so he don't
He's gaining
balance.
an unfair advantage, and you know it.
You don't need an unfair advantage with that opponent.
Well, you probably are right there, but why is he cheating? Well, I tell you,
He's got till 5.
One thing about it, he will be the leader of his quartet at the Survivor Series. Powerful clothesline. IRS has been in firm control, and I think he's going to put Dennis Diamond on ice.
As in Zircon.
Here is your winner, IRS.
Nice looking suit.
Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, Owen and Bret Hart take on Well Done.
Well, there's that laugh, and guess what, folks? Took the bag with him. Give me a break.
Down the aisle with the million-dollar
Irwin R. Schyster following the money trail. He'll be following it all the way to Florida for January 22nd and the Royal Rumble as he's finally caught up with The Undertaker. Well, he won't have to look too hard to find a Grim Reaper, I'll tell you that. Probably got Bundy back there sitting on that bag right now. Nobody will get their hands in there.
I hope you tax cheats didn't buy too many Christmas presents this year.
Come on.
Because you're going to need the money to pay your taxes.
Hey, where'd that youngster get all that money?
Until they paid IRS.
Hey, he got into that bag.
From Prospect, Connecticut.
I paid an import tax on my bananas. I know that.
Barberry.
Next, Barberry supplying the opposition. Here for Irwin. This won't be near the challenge that he'll get on January 22nd when he has to face the unearthly one. Royal Rumble 1995 turning out to be a spectacular, a blockbuster. All those matches now signed. Of course, Bret the Hitman Hart once again trying to become WWF champion as he faces Diesel as Irwin really going to work here on Nick. And how about Intercontinental title also on the line? Suplex coming up? Yes. Nicely executed by Irwin. As the bad guy, Razor Ramon, will face Double J, who claims he's going to change the name of the World Wrestling Federation when he becomes champion. Well, I won't hold my breath in anticipation of that. And, of course, that tag team tournament, it'll all be decided at the Royal Rumble. Nice sunset here. Can he hold them? No. The finals will take place at the Royal Rumble, and we will crown new World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions. Double underhook, suplex by Irwin. That won't work on The Undertaker. Mr. Schyster, there's one of those dreaded druids. I wonder if that's that running scared. I wonder if he's here again. I don't think so. Woo, wow. He just got the write-off right there. You pay the penalty when you get the write-off. And Irwin chops up another one in the win column rather easily here. Didn't hardly